Okay, here we are, Silver Springs entrance, State Park. Going in the entrance of Florida, Silver Springs. We're going to go to the glass bottom boat event. Okay, so just park back here in the parking lot. Just a short little walk down here. We got some big trees here. Really big trees. It says warning, don't leave your dog inside the vehicle unattended. You got park admission fees, it's $2 a person, pedestrians and bicycles.
Okay, we have one of those. Yep, thank you much. Hello.
See the glass boats over there. One's coming in, one's sitting over there. And it says don't feed the wildlife. Just a short little walk down here from the parking lot. Okay, there we are.
If I say cheese.
Cheese, we're here.
Can we load up?
Yeah, I'm missing 2.
I don't care. We can...
Okay, now we're getting ready to board the glass boat out of the boat.
I think it's going to stay here. They're going to turn it on. Wow.
I'm not. I've been up there. And you ever heard of a place called Buffalo, New York? Yeah. The only thing there good is Genesee beer. And it ain't enough for me to go back up there, I'll tell you. Where y'all?
It's snowing up there.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it. Check. It was 98.104% pure. The #1 contaminant in our water is called nitrates. That's a base compound for most fertilizers. And the damage that causes, well, you can see it on the grass beneath the glass. That is algae crusting on our river grass. Now, algae is an oxygen depleter. That indicates that it sucks the oxygen out of the water. And if that was a lake here, it would be a deadly environment. But we're not a lake, we're a river. 800 million gallons of water a day gives us a little over fresh water in a little over 38 minutes average. The water temperatures are brisk and consistent, 72.2 degrees Fahrenheit. If you ride a metric or drive a Prius, that's 22.5 degrees Celsius. And all that water comes out of holes in the ground, like the hole the spring vent I'm starting to motor you over. I'll talk about this for on water beat in a second. The great slab coming up underneath my boat is what we call the tongue of the Spring of Stars. 23 feet down, kicking out right at 250,000 gallons of water every hour. We call it the Spring of Stars because dignitaries and people who are full of themselves, that's usually Jaguar fans, they come over here, sit here for a minute, and go back to the dock. There's a largemouth bass up here looking. Them piranha-looking fish, they're not really piranha, they're bluegill. Tasty fish, but problematic for us. The guy that drove this boat right here, Collins, he drove this boat for 54 years. He fed them fish every trip. That creates a problem because they think this is a food truck. They come over here looking for food. First thing is they notice I'm not Oscar. And then sometimes they get too close to my propeller, in which case you'll see a fillet of fish shoot across that line.
Yeah,
The state is trying to figure a way of breaking that dependency cycle, and they don't quite have it figured out. And of course, I'm no help to them. Nah, I still got a 30-year-old living at home. I pretty well suck at breaking dependency. Anybody ever see a movie called Creature from the Black Lagoon?
Yes.
All of the underwater scenes in that iconic 1954 movie were filmed here. And the cave that creature called home in that movie is going to be coming up underneath my front glass here in a minute. It is 28 feet down, kicking out right at 500,000 gallons of water every hour into this river. We call it Creature Cavern. Right there. These first two spring vents I'm showing you are called horizontals, indicating the pressure goes from left to right. I'm going to back over one now called a vertical, which basically just means it's a hole in the ground. But for generations, it was called the bridal chamber. They had to change the name because they didn't like the story, so it's called the abyss now. Not really sure why they felt the need to change it if you think about it. Bridal chamber and abyss pretty much mean the same thing. There's a manatee right in my front door. Y'all need to move.
Sorry.
Not you, them. You move and I'm in trouble. Where'd he go? Oh, I don't. You see
what just happened?
I'm gonna hire you as a guy.
It came up and
There's three of them over here somewhere.
and it came right towards me. I was like, no! Not again!
I have to be careful. See, the reflections bother me. There's something going on right there. Manatee hunting. We will pop in here on our way back. Hopefully the water will be a little bit clearer. Yep. You see that water, the way it's ruffling? Where that we call that manatee sign. I can see a little bit now, and I'm not being a true strong. We'll come back and check it out unless they scare them away. There's water every day. It is the third largest spring in our river. I'm going to show you the largest, not only in the river, but in the Western Hemisphere in just a few minutes. In 1938, the park itself was privately owned and operated, and the operator's name was Colonel Toohey. Colonel Toohey was a colonel like Colonel Sanders, not Colonel Klink. Colonel Toohey decided to open up another attraction here. He went down to Raccoon Island and built habitats and feeding stations for 12 of the rhesus macaque monkeys. Put them on the island and then backed away. As he backed away, he lit him a cigar and then popped a cork on a bottle of champagne. The popping sound startled them monkeys and they swam off the island 85 years ago. In that time frame since, there's been a whole lot of populating. There's over 3,000 of the rhesus macaque monkeys in the Central Florida area alone. And of that number, 178 call this park home. And I hate every single one of them 178. I've been pushing these boats for almost 6 years now, but my first week on the job, one of them monkeys jumped on my boat. I've jumped out of planes. That booger jumped on my boat. My inner 3-year-old girl jumped out. I'm not fond of them things. Now, they're not violent or vicious. That's not a problem. They've been around for 80 some odd years, never bit nobody, never scratched nobody, and nobody, by the way, has ever gotten sick from a rhesus macaque in the wild, ever. But we call them feces slingers, and I'm not fond of being flung upon. Now, if you do happen to see one of our fur balls, and to tell you, there's a troop of 35 or so that live on the island over here on my right. That is Ross Island. You go up 700-800 yards that way, there's a troop of 75 or so that live in the equestrian area on your map. Folks, if you see one of them boogers in a 3-point stance, like a defensive lineman, that empty-handed. Happy Holiday Tree Springs didn't seem to fit too well either, so they call it Cypress Springs now. I'm gonna be coming up over a tree that gives it that name now, Cypress Spring.
Turtle.
Turtle, oh, you like turtles?
Doc, we got a swimmer in the water here, right?
Yeah, somebody jumped in the water to swim with that manatee. They like to put you in jail for doing that here.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Beneath that tree, you'll see an old boat.
Yep.
That is a second generation glass bonnet boat here at Silver Spring. That particular style boat was in service between 1885 and 1910. Boy, and she's falling apart too. The boat you're on is the 5th generation. That big ugly monstrosity you saw at the dock, the Pita. Oh, sorry, Pizaki. We call it the Pita. That was just turned out in October, a little about a year and a half ago, first trip. It hasn't made a trip in 9 months. There's something broke down on it. They can't find anybody to figure out how to fix it. Yep, that's a turtle. To give you an idea about these turtles, the red-eared or yellow-bellied sliders, we also call them cooters. No, seriously, there's a festival honoring that turtle every October over in Italy. It's called the Cooter Festival. It's held at Cooter Park on Cooter Pond, and soup du jour is cooter soup. Wow. No, seriously, the only thing fake about my trip is my accent. I'm from a place called Baja Maine. We don't talk like this up there. I called my mama for her 92nd birthday, and I said, "Happy birthday, lady." She goes, "Who is this?" I went, "Me." She goes, "Who is me?" And I said, "I am." She goes, "Okay, smart ass. Who is it?" I went, "Mama, it's me, Joe." She goes, "No, it's not." She hung up on me. Blocked my phone number. Yep. Coming up for air. They are mammals, they are air breathers. The average weight of a female is upwards of 1,500 pounds. The average weight of a male is in the 12 to 1,300 pounds. They're moving. Are they coming underneath me? I'm not moving them over. They eat 20%. There's the one up in the front. There's the other one right there. Okay. I gotta stop my motor now. That is the best you're gonna get, folks.
Oh boy. Wow.
No, that could be a girl. I don't know. I'm not going to gender sensitivity training again. Yep. Dress up like me. His name's Oscar Collins. He's the one that drove this boat for 54 years. He's got stories about this place that, well, maybe kind of wonder if children should hear them. But anyway. The only bad thing about the statues, they're the last item on our tour. As I make prep to go back towards the dock, please remain seated till we tie up. Once we do, they're going to lower that. These or tips, as it were, although greatly appreciated, they are voluntary. And that glass that you've been looking through for the tour, that is the world's largest tip jar. It is a 110-year tradition of tips on the glass. The Florida Park Service insists that we say thank you for coming, so thank you for coming.
Now we'll take a little tour over this way.
So this is the garden that's over here to the left.
The what?
Gardens.
You want to go that way?
Well,
Look
that
at this.
Well, they're not the same.
You got all the pavilions along the water here. The moss hanging off the oak trees. Beautiful place. It's a good place to take a visit, spend a day. Beautiful place. Oh, true. Pretty big old oak tree there. Say they have 20 miles of hiking trails throughout this whole park, so we're not going to hike the 20 miles, that's for darn sure. We're kind of on limited time today. That's one leaning tree there. Well, it's been fun today, but we're headed back. Go back. It was a good little trip. We'll come back here again. Bottom line is you can park here. You pay $2 admission and you've got a full day's activity. If you don't do the glass boat, you can just walk around all the trails they have here. It's a good place to visit. Thanks for watching.
There it goes. Right here.